Yesterday I was hanging out with a 9-year-old cousin of mine who looks just like her older sister, with the exception of the fact that her sister is 14. And to be annoying, I would routinely call her by her older sister's name, Mia, at which point she would go, "I'm not Mia, I'm Yasmin." Now, right before she would host a competition to see who could do the best model pose, I asked her how could we tell the difference between her and her older sister, at which point she gave me 4 different ways that I could distinguish between them. Number 1, her older sister wears a necklace that says Mia. Number 2, her older sister is taller. Number 3, her older sister is much more not into the mood of happiness. And number 4, her older sister is always on her phone. Now, I want to talk about that third reason for a second because it feels like such a strange concoction of a sentence to illustrate what is a fairly simple description. But I think it kind of perfectly encapsulates all the ways that fluent speakers will take advantage of language even when they don't have a large vocabulary themselves. You might wonder, why wouldn't she just say, oh yeah, she's much more unhappy? But you see, by not saying the negative adjective directly, she's kind of distancing herself from that negativity and lowering the severity of what she realizes could be a rude statement by instead just saying, oh, she's much more not happy. But in fact, she goes even further than that because she doesn't say she's not happy. She says she's much more not into the mood of happiness, lessening its severity even further. If you speak English as a second language, you might wonder, why would she say much more not? Isn't that ungrammatical? Shouldn't she say much less? And yes, that's technically true, but by doing this, she's indicating to me that she might have originally been thinking of a word that was much more not nice, but decided she didn't need to say it outright because I probably understood what she was going to say anyways. Now, there are, of course, other things she does here that indicates her fluency. The fact that she says much more not into the mood of happiness as opposed to not in the mood of happiness, a distinction that's so subtle it couldn't be difficult to explain. But what I really love about this moment is that it perfectly illustrates that you don't need a large vocabulary to be fluent. Being fluent has nothing to do with your vocabulary size. This girl doesn't have a large vocabulary. She's a fucking 9-year-old. We can tell she's fluent in this moment because she's able to utilize the vocabulary she does have, along with all of the subtleties of language, to fluidly convey the subtleties of meaning. And she's able to do all of that without even thinking.